college football on ABC, and you can tell by looking at these fans that it doesn't matter that Nebraska and Oklahoma aren't what they have been in recent years. When these two teams put on the helmets and get ready to go against each other, people get fired up. 1961 actually was the last time these two teams lined up against each other with neither team ranked. John Saunders, Craig James, and Aaron Taylor. But as I said, when it is Oklahoma against Nebraska, all of a sudden, you know, your ears perk up, your eyes get big, and you get ready to play some big football.
John was ready. He was perked up, and I'm perked up too, because this is going to be a good football game. Whether or not these two teams ranked doesn't matter. What does matter is that Oklahoma, for as much heat as they've been taking, is still playing championship caliber defense. They're third in the nation against the rush, only giving up 76 yards per game. And a big reason because of that, they got a good defensive lineman, Dusty Dvorak. Watch him today as he plays, guys. He will cause havoc in that Nebraska run game.
You changed that. Going to happen, of course, and right now we will see you at halftime. But coming up next, strap yourselves in. It's Oklahoma and Nebraska on ABC.
As the leaves change and the nights get cooler, we are reminded the greatest part of the college football season is upon us. Rivalry season. One of the greatest rivalries in the game is renewed today for the 82nd time.
Holloway going down the line with it. He's a touchdown. And Dean Levin is the quarterback. He pitches it to Peacock.
Great players, legendary coaches have defined this matchup.
Rodgers takes the ball at the 30. He's all the way home. He's going to throw it. He's got a man out.
What will we remember from today's game? Oklahoma, Nebraska renewed. ABC's coverage of college football welcomes you a Halloween treat that comes early. Here on ABC, we bring you one of the great rivalries of all time. It will be a sea of red. That's the tradition here in Nebraska. Barry Switzer will be joining us later. Oklahoma and Nebraska, they have played so many football games that have mattered so much. And today they go at it one more time here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Welcome, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne. Delighted to have you with us.
I'm standing on Stadium Drive just outside Memorial Stadium. As you can see, it's a sea of red as these Nebraska fans get ready to welcome Oklahoma for the first time since 2001. Now, the last time the Sooners won here in Lincoln was November 21st, 1987. In that game, Nebraska led at the half by a score of 7-0. In the third quarter, Oklahoma's Anthony Stafford scored on this 11-yard run. Then, a little later in the third, Patrick Collins of the Sooners went 65 yards for another touchdown. The Sooners would add a field goal, and Oklahoma won that game by a score of 17-7. But, Gary, the Sooners have really struggled offensively in recent years here. In fact, Oklahoma has averaged just 7.6 points per game in its last 5 visits to Lincoln.
And these are offenses that are in transition as Oklahoma takes the field here in Lincoln, Nebraska. This has always been a crowd that appreciates great football. They do it at the end of the game, though, because at the start, it's all about red. Ed and I will take a look at the keys to this game when we come back. All right, we're going to get Peterson, number 1. You saw coming out to play some offense. We'll get to him in a minute. For the Sooners, they will start with Rhett Bomer, who took over as the starter in the second game of the season. Adrian Peterson, number 28, is in the backfield. They fake to him. Bomer rolls, looking deep. It's going to be caught for a first down and out of bounds at the 35-yard line. So they start by going to the air, looking deep on that one. Malcolm Kelly, a 14-yard gain. We will see Peterson start, but a lot of other running backs will be involved. Reynolds, Moses, Wilson, and Thompson. Outback Steakhouse bringing you the starting lineups. The offensive line, they have done a pretty decent job this season in protection and opening some holes. They'll be asked to do that again today. They want to establish the run. However, they start with the pass, and they get a first down at 10. Now, Gutierrez has come into the backfield wearing 21 out of the shotgun. He carries. He'll be taken down at about the line of scrimmage. There'll be no gain. Adam Ickerson on the tackle. The defense for Nebraska. They are 9th in rushing defense, 64th in pass defense. Carricker puts on a tremendous rush from that defensive end. Adam Smith and Moore will be up front. In the back, we're going to be talking about McEwen, number 13. He is their leading tackler, and he plays a tough game. Bullocks will be involved in a lot of blitzes in this game as a cornerback.
Peterson back into the ball game.
We're going to shuffle these backs in and out throughout this game. Second man through. Peterson on the carry. 30. He's got some room at the 20. Down to the 10. Cuts back inside. Touchdown! Apparently the high ankle sprain is isn't so high and isn't so sprained anymore. Wow. A 36-yard touchdown run. Adrian Peterson, who did not play against Baylor last week, takes it in for the TD.
Delayed draw, great block by the fullback, and Peterson. What, about 99.9% on that run, you think, Gary? He wasn't quite, didn't quite have that burst we're used to, but when he gets going downhill, he's awfully tough to bring down.
There is Garrett Hartley on the point after. It is up and it is good. He's had 19 out of 20 in the PATs. So, Oklahoma, there's an answer to one of their questions, at least early. How much are we going to be able to play Adrian Peterson? If he keeps running like that, the answer is going to be a lot.
Gets through the leg tackle to pick up the first down.
See 9 first downs, Oklahoma, none for Nebraska. Peterson and Reynolds are both in the backfield. Peterson deep will get the carry. Peterson, his second touchdown for the Sooners. Little help from Joseph and Shashawn up front, who opened an enormous hole for the touchdown run.
Well, this again. We've shown the runs out of the shotgun, how they kind of go sideways. When number 28's in the game, he's going to run on a straight. And we were out of practice the other day. This is a whole different world they're dealing in now.
First down and 10 over the 25-yard line, down to the 30. Watch him go, one man to beat midfield. Peterson is on his way if he can keep the gas going, and he can't. But he's down to the 20-yard line. Courtney Grigsby cutting him down, but Peterson had some room, and Grigsby, after a 59-yard gain, made the touchdown-saving stop.
Well, we just saw a touchdown a moment ago on this run, and this is just the opposite. It's just the track zone. Everybody's just going to work it. And what's happening is Nebraska is not getting anybody into that inside lane. Bullock does a bad job of closing the distance. The safety who's left, you cannot go sideways against this guy. He is entirely too strong in his lower body. Computer polls and may have a shot at cracking the top 2.
And back after the timeout, Nebraska intercepted to the 50. There's nothing down there but Ross, the running back, and he's not going to get him. It is a touchdown. Onyenagita takes that one in, a 62-yard interception return for the TD, and a back-breaking play into the final minute of the first half.
And Zach Taylor in Norman, Oklahoma. His hometown. His father Sherwood played for Oklahoma. He looks a little tight, Gary. He never got into a rhythm in that first quarter with the wind, and that's the second time he hit number 22 right in the chest. This time, Onyenagita wraps it up and takes it the distance.
That was one of those sideline passes that when intercepted, you only have maybe a running back or a quarterback with any chance, and it was Ross, who has great speed, the running back, who tried to go get him. Taylor comes out of there, and boy, that has really quieted the house, making it 20-3 with 1 minute left to go in the half. Hartley out. That kick is up, and that one is good. A 21-3 lead for the Sooners.
Very, very similar plays. I was just talking a moment ago about Onyenagita almost making the pick as he read the route and came off of his receiver and right in front of who Zach Taylor was going for. Probably wouldn't have taken that one because 81 standing right there, but this time Onyenagita again. He has the outside receiver. That's just good eyes. So this is the guy, the cornerback with the most experience for Oklahoma, and experience shows on both of those plays. He's reading the eyes of the quarterback and just comes right off of his responsibility, knowing that that's where Taylor was going to go with the ball.
Onyenagita now has returned his first interception for a touchdown this year. It is the third interception return for a TD by Oklahoma, and for Bill Callahan, more frustrating.
Gary, thank you very much, Coach. Why has your defense been so effective in this first half?
Well, we've been really good against the run game, which is first and foremost, and then we've gotten some pressure to the quarterback, and guys are covering good.
For a guy who's been banged up, Adrian Peterson has been stellar. Why?
Well, his ankle's probably feeling a little bit better. It is, and he's got fresh legs. Just got to get that ankle better.
Thanks, Coach. All right, let's take it back to New York. John Saunders, Craig James, and Aaron Taylor. Guys?
Coming up after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
A lot of the teams are playing a lot of the same stuff, and when the wishbone came in and things like that, the power option that you guys used to run, it's like everybody sees this, oh, that works. Was there a lot of that going on? I mean, you know, film started really taking hold when it turned to video because it was easier to move around. How much did the game change with that coming into play?
Well, I think Barry certainly influenced offensive football in that several wishbone teams sprang up in the, well, there's another big play.
He's having a big game.
Dvorak's having a tremendous football game. He's knocked a couple down. He intercepts that one. And once again, Nebraska's offense unable to sustain any kind of a drive as Oklahoma's going to get the football back. Take a look again here in the interception.
And I believe this is about the fourth ball that Zach Taylor has had tipped. Latimer does a great job on the blitz. His progress is stopped, so he just jumps up and tips it. And Dvorak, guys, we've talked a lot about, you know, he had some problems off the field, and he had to fight to get back on. He's really making the most of it. And it's nice to see a young man who had some difficulties in his personal life overcome those and have a great senior season.
In 26 of the last 36 games they've played. Can Nebraska be one of those? (24-10) as we start the fourth. Nebraska in great field position. Oklahoma territory. Taylor back, looking to the corner, and touchdown! Swift, and Nebraska's back in it. What a beautiful pass by Taylor, who knew where he wanted to go, almost fully licensed to do damage. They're trying to do it right here. On a 3rd down and 10, Oklahoma had to use a timeout to get the play. Bomar out of the shotgun, looking left and over the middle. That's going to be completed, and that'll be a first down as they move it up to the 47-yard line. Travis Wilson, a 21-yard reception.
What a gutsy performance by Travis Wilson. We saw him when he caught that ball that almost gave him a first down. On the 2nd down, come up gimpy. He's got an ankle and a toe injury on the same foot. This time he's working on Zachary Bowman. I thought Cosgrove was going to bring some pressure. That time he rushes 3, drops 8. A long developing play. 55-yarder if he doesn't hit it true.
And he may want to drive it, which obviously gives the
got one block,
a better chance to go after it. A 40-yard kick. He is 1 for 3 so far today as Cody Freeby, number 17, will do the holding, and they fake it. He's going to run with it. Hartley's going to the 20. Hartley will be taken out of bounds after he gets the first down. The fake field goal works, and it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Sooners.
And Oklahoma is now 3 for 3 on the year on fake kicks. They had a fake field goal against Kansas for a first down. They had a fake punt against Texas for a first down. And this is a wonderful call by Bob Stoops. Into the wind. He's already had a kick blocked on this side of the field. If you don't get it, it's still a great field position, because a block kick returned for a touchdown, there's no way you want that to happen. What an excellent call by Stoops.
And you saw Nebraska set up to try and block it, so they had nobody on the outside. First down and a 10. Turn to the 10. Down to the 5. Touchdown for Jones. The fake field goal, a first down, and a 17-yard touchdown run. And a very big series as the Sooners go up 30-17.
You know, Gary, this is the first time in 40 meetings that neither of these teams comes in ranked. But it just always has that feel of a big game. I don't know, and just looking at the history of college football, if there's ever been a guttier coach in situations like that than Bob Stoops. He just consistently makes calls in tight spots, in tough, difficult situations. Because even though this is not a normal Oklahoma-Nebraska with 1 versus 2 or 2 versus 3, it felt like the momentum was starting to change to Nebraska's side. What a great call on that fake field goal.
And you see there's some real jawing going on right there. They're taking Callahan. They had to move him off the field. He had come out on the field, and the official went over and warned him, as he is really upset about that last play and the penalty that he believes should have been called that was not.
Yeah, it looked like Malcolm Kelly may have gotten away with a hold, and that was the crowd saw it happen and wanted the call as well.
Extra point attempt, and this time he is going to kick it, and it is up, and it is good. So look at the penalty that wasn't called that Callahan was upset about.
And they have every right to be upset, because Malcolm Kelly, at the end of this play right there, watch, he gets his arms on the outside of Grixby and impedes his progress. That needed to be a penalty.
First down and 10. They are trailing 31-17 here in their home field, trying to get the Sea of Red back into it. Ross on the carry, throws wide open, touchdown, Nate Swift. The first pass that Corey Ross on the option has thrown from his running back position this year, and Nate Swift
knows the system, and he's calm, and they need that in this.
Taylor, oh, what a rush. He is leveled back at the 23-yard line, and it's Dvorak again and Rufus Alexander, the 8th sack for the Sooner defense in this game. And he's got to get right back up with the clock running, 1:36 left to go. Second down now, and 22 yards for the first down. He avoids one reach, has time, throws it wide open, incomplete at the 25, and Nate Swift had no one on him.
Two things: inexperienced secondary, letting someone run by them in a situation where you cannot let somebody run by, and the wind at the back. That was an absolute blown coverage by DJ Wolf. He was sitting with his body turned towards the line of scrimmage, peeking, and he did not run with Swift. And
the first down markers near midfield. It's up at the 49-yard line. Big rush put on. Big rush. Gets away once, but not twice. Clint Ingram with the 9th sack of the day. And that may be enough. It should be for the Sooners. Their defense has made the difference as Taylor gets sacked again. Let's check in. 128, and for Oklahoma, it's going to be a rare win in Lincoln, Nebraska. It has been a while since Oklahoma has been able to quiet this crowd of red.
Yeah.
But they're going to do it here today with the time running out. A second down and 11. 43 seconds left to go. Peterson with a tremendous game. And great news for Oklahoma if he is able to play this way the rest of the year.
He looked stronger as the game went on, and that's typical of Adrian Peterson. When he starts running downhill and he gets some momentum, boy, he will wear out a defense. He didn't get to play at all in the third quarter because Nebraska, and give Zach Taylor credit too. He's from Norman, Oklahoma. A lot of pressure on him in this game. It looked like the pressure was on him the first half, but he gave his team a chance to win it here in the second half.
So it will run down. Peterson, 24 carries, 146 yards, and 2 TDs. Bomar went 14 out of 28, 157 yards. First win for the Sooners here in Nebraska since 1987. And for Oklahoma, they will keep their bowl hopes alive after playing in the championship game last year, as they will improve their mark in the conference to 4-1. And for Nebraska, a tough loss at home as they battled hard here to try and get back into this football game, but it was just not to be. Let's take a look at today's Chevrolet players of the game. Adrian Peterson, you see the yardage he's put out. And for McKeon, a tough defensive game, 8 tackles, a couple for losses, a $1,000 contribution made by Chevrolet to each university's general scholarship fund. That's the final. The traditional football game is done. And for Oklahoma, 31-24 win. For Ed Cunningham, Mark Morgan, and all of our crew, I'm Gary Thorne. Thanks for being with us. A lot more college football coming up here on ABC. Hang in. Watch it. See you later.